Millions of years before the dawn of man, ants had learned to live in large, complex societies. They had also mastered the art of war. Since their sources of food were much larger than themselves, they killed their prey by strategic attack. Today, a highly aggressive, often deadly breed of ant threatens to spread like a plague throughout much of the United States. In the tropical jungles of Central and South America, everyday reality can have the appearance of pure illusion. Animated leaves seem to march down a hanging vine. In truth, each leaf's movement is the work of a tiny but powerful ant. They are known as the leaf cutters. Leaf cutters are the farmers of the jungle. One colony transports over a ton of leaves a year to its underground city. The leaves themselves will not be eaten. A fungus which will grow on the stored leaves provides the entire colony with its single source of food. Leaf-cutter ants have tremendous strength. Held by the ant's powerful mandibles, a single leaf weighing as much as the ant itself will often be carried more than 100 yards. To equal this feat, a man would have to carry 150 pounds in his teeth. For nearly every jungle animal, survival hangs in delicate balance. Both predator and prey are highly affected by the slightest change in the jungle's fragile ecology. Food cannot be taken for granted. Its abundance is never assured. If the tapir cannot find its daily requirement of buried roots and bulbs, it faces starvation. The tiny ant, however, has a distinct advantage over other jungle species. It is older, more resilient to change, and much better adapted to its unpredictable environment. The hollow branches of a young cecropia tree is the favored home of Aztec ants. The Aztecs have powerful mandibles and a vicious bite. If their tree is disturbed in any way, the entire colony will swarm out to attack the intruder. A foreign vine placed against the tree quickly rallies the colony in defense of its home. The frenzied attack will not end until the vine has been completely removed. The tamandua, or anteater, will rarely venture a visit to a cecropia tree. It is content to search for termite nests high in the branches of other trees. Among the most legendary and feared of all jungle predators is a group of tiny, fast-moving ants. They travel like soldiers in well-organized columns, continually searching for food. The highly developed cooperation among hundreds of thousands of ants transforms their mobile colony into a single ferocious creature. They are called army ants. When army ants move through the jungle, they establish temporary bivouacs by forming a solid mass with their own bodies. Using their hooked feet, thousands of workers attach themselves together in successive rows. The rows hang down to form an intricate living wall which protects the queen inside. Every morning, hundreds of raiding parties set out in search of prey. A chance encounter with a rival species of army ants sets the stage for the day's first battle. Both ants are armed with sharp mandibles and a deadly sting. They will fight to the death. While raiding columns frantically hunt for other sources of food, a powerful bite finally cripples the opponent. A larger prey suffers a coordinated mass attack. Once it has been paralyzed by dozens of stings, the army ants carefully dissect their victim and carry it piece by piece back to the bivouac. In a single day, thousands of insects will become helpless victims of the ravenous army ant. Wherever raiding ants move, other animals follow along, hoping to feed on their fleeing prey. There are other kinds of deadly ants which live in the jungle completely alone. They are solitary hunters and highly efficient killers. For the predaceous ant, a much larger katydid makes an easy victim. Nearly an inch long, the predaceous ant will attack insects many times its size. Possessed of incredible strength, it can easily lift the katydid and carry it off. Its venom is deadly. A single sting can paralyze, even kill a grown man.
Most of us regard ants as insignificant pests, a nuisance in the kitchen or at a picnic. But for many people in the United States, that attitude has undergone a forcible change. The problem has been caused by a tiny but fierce red ant, the fire ant.
In fields and pastures throughout the South, large earth mounds loom above the ground, signaling that the invader is there. The mounds are built and inhabited by fire ants. The fire ant mound forms only the tip of a vast colony which can extend 20 feet underground. Highly aggressive, the fire ant's armament includes razor-sharp mandibles for biting and a painful burning sting that gives the ant its name. Within each fire ant colony, specialized workers do nothing but build and repair. The work is constant. It begins when the colony is established and the mound itself must be built. As the colony grows, new tunnels and chambers must be added continually. In about 3 years, the mound may reach over a yard high and contain more than 250,000 ants. If split down the middle, the mound is revealed as an intricate network of interconnecting tunnels and chambers. Buried deep in some of the chambers lie the developing eggs of new ants. The eggs are frequently moved from place to place by specialized workers. When the sun warms the mound, eggs are carried toward the top. At night or during cold weather, the developing brood is hauled deep below ground level where the temperature is warmer. Other workers specialize in storing food or in keeping the mound clean. Still others stand on constant guard, ready to sound an alert. The slightest disturbance to the mound instantly rallies thousands of biting, stinging ants in defense of the colony. The aggressive fire ants wage regular warfare on all other kinds of ants they encounter. Unable to see or hear, they communicate their strategy by chemical odors called pheromones. They rarely lose a battle. Wherever fire ants have spread, they have quickly eradicated native ants, establishing themselves as the singular species. Fire ants are voracious predators. Their colonies require a huge and regular supply of food. Given to attacking in overwhelming numbers, fire ants will actually delay an attack until sufficient ants have gathered to ensure an easy conquest. Fire ants devour insects as the mainstay of their diet. They also eat earthworms, grubs, and spiders. Fire ants attack beneficial insects as well as harmful ones. They are indiscriminate killers. In many parts of the South, vast areas are scarred with more than 200 fire ant mounds per acre. In the United States, fire ants have no natural enemies. At present, there is no way to stop them. Today, fire ants infest more than 150 million acres in 9 southern states, from North Carolina to Texas. Highly adaptable, their mounds can be found nearly everywhere. In parks and playgrounds, in fields and vacant city lots, along sidewalks and roadsides, around houses, on lawns, near schools and hospitals, even in the middle of cities. The main shopping street of Gulfport, Mississippi is completely undermined with thousands of fire ant tunnels. The ants have no problem finding food and thriving.